One thing I love about this pistol is the trigger. That trigger breaks super clean, the reset super short. That little guy was me, but so not bad. This guy right here, that guy. So you guys saw our previous review, more or less our first impressions on the nationwide launch on 7/12. We were part of that with Springfield, which was super awesome. That was kind of just giving you guys a little taste of what I found that I liked on the pistol. This will be a full review of the pistol after 1,000 rounds. So I've been shooting it every week, a few hundred rounds here and there, and today we capped out 1,000 rounds and hit that mark. Before we get into that, let me tell you about what we do here at RDR. We're a soft goods manufacturer. We specialize in plate carriers, placards, chest rigs, belts, all things soft goods and nylon. We also have a full line of canine gear we've been doing for almost a decade now. We also do probably what we're mostly known for is our specialized product is our Safariland holster mods, holster wraps, and holster accessories that enhance the performance of your Safariland duty belt with our TQ mounts, TQ struts, and of course our wrapped holsters. All which you can find on our website at rdrgear.com. So with that out of the way, let's talk the 1,000 round review on the Springfield Echelon. This pistol is lights out. If you've been following Springfield for any amount of time, this is the departure or the future transition from the XD, XDM pistol lineup to the Echelon. The Echelon is a very modernized, forward-thinking pistol. A lot of people say, oh, it's just a Glock. It's actually not. It's very far from a Glock. And when you look at the manufacturing side of this pistol, it's not done through Springfield, through in-house. HS Products in Croatia is really the leader in the design and the manufacturing of this pistol. That's a one-stop shop manufacturing facility in Croatia that's responsible for a lot of firearms for other countries in the military side of military weapons. So there's a lot of history in that company in regards to design and manufacturing of firearms. So the quality, tolerance, design, I don't think you can knock that per se with HS Products being on board with this Echelon pistol. So we're going to break it down in a couple different ways. Something I'm trying different is we're going to go frame on up, right? So when you look at the frame of this pistol, I really like the micro stipple. It's a very, very easy texture. It's in a lot of great places. The frame is very well done. Probably one of the things I really enjoy most, or actually two things. When I present the pistol, my webbing of my hand is the perfect cutout for the mag release. So therefore, I don't have any issue with taking the magazine and the magazine release indexing and hitting me in any of my digits on the outside of my hand. The other areas I like is the landing pads for your index finger to be straight off the trigger. These are textured, they're kind of convex. So therefore, I really do like how these are built. They're also one on the left and right hand side, and the other really, really well done feature to me is the takedown lever. It's textured and stippled, and it's actually got some curvature to it. So it allows me to land the bony part of my thumb onto the takedown lever and the kind of paddy, fleshy part of the pad of my thumb on the actual index point. So when I index this pistol, I have a very, very easy place to put index finger as well as support hand thumb. So very well done on the frame, hands down on there. As you guys know, the frames are modular. The frames are modular, and you have the different back straps. The tool to take down the entire pistol is built in the back strap. Super cool feature as well. I have switched, when the first impressions video was out, I was using the slim grip or the small. I've since switched to the medium grip, which I like much more. It gives me a little more purchase in between front to back. So I hopefully will find, when they're in stock, the large module. I want to try that one as well. I could use a little more fulfillment in the hand. This is still slightly narrow for me, but I think the large grip would be very beneficial to me. The trigger. There's been a lot of conversation online about the trigger. For a polymer gun, and I own a lot of them, I own pretty much all the major brands, Glock, SIG, MMP, HK, I own a lot. This trigger so I can do it over the overhead here. When you look at the take up, right? There's a little bit of take up here, right? That is something that I've heard a lot of people complain about take up. Take up can be trained out of you, right? Because so if you look at the trigger, clear and safe, and I go to present this pistol, the more I fiddle with this trigger at the time that I'm on target, the more I can manipulate the pistol. But if I can get on target and be at that wall, now you'll see, if you look, I'm at the wall, you see that little extra wall, and all we have now is that's how much break we have, and that shot breaks. And if you reset, you come back to it, you watched how little my finger moved. Wall again, shot breaks, wall again, shot breaks. So that trigger is one of the best polymer triggers I've played with in a long time. The little bit of extra wall that you get on the first initial wall, that little bit of extra creep, it's a polymer gun. You're not going to get probably too much better than that unless you're doing a super tuned trigger. But for this trigger to be as good as it is out the box is super impressive. That really does make the Echelon stand out amongst a lot of other polymer pistols. So the other thing that I'm really, really impressed with is the slide. The slide, when you buy a pistol, it's got to be sexy. It's got to look cool. It has to have some kind of cool factor to it, or you're just not going to buy it. And to be all honesty, it's one of the reasons I never owned an XD pistol. They just looked ugly. It was one long square attached to another long square, and they just did not look well. Then you got the XDMs that looked like the same long square that had a pointy top and a really awkward looking grip module. The XDs, XDMs never did it for me. The XDS was kind of cool. It was a very small, compact pistol, very early, 45 and 9. But I'm very excited to see where the Echelon goes as it gets smaller in slide length and grip length and what Springfield has to offer going forward. But the slide, the design of the slide, the forward cockturation, they're very, very tactile, very easy to use. The rear wings are very easy to get to rack that slide if you choose to go from the rear. If you don't want to go from the front or over the top on the optic, you have multiple places to manipulate this pistol. So again, that is a very, very well done feature on the slide. This gun, as you guys know, was sent to us part of the nationwide launch. I do wish I had the 3-dot night sights, but I will say, after having the gun for this long and shooting as much as I have, the U-notch sight does not bother me as much as it used to. And if you watch other reviews, that's been a big gripe of mine, that U-notch sight. The more I've spent time on the pistol, the more I don't really have an issue with it. So that's something that, you know, I think as a YouTuber, you critique something and then it's because it's maybe not the most time you've had on that particular product, and therefore that's what stands out for you, and maybe you have a preconceived idea that you don't like it. The more you spend time on it, the more you might find features of it that benefit you and don't. For me, the U-notch sight is one of those things that I do really have a different opinion on now. The Viz system. This is, I think, going to... I think everybody's talking about whether this is going to make or break this pistol. With the way that the Viz system works, if you looked at any red dot plate in the past, you've got a plate, a rear sight, you've got the lugs up front, and you've got 2 screws. Well, your locking lugs, the optic snaps over to keep it from sliding, and on those G's going back and forth. And technically, when you look at the Viz system compared to an actual plate, the Viz just does the exact same thing that the plate does without the plate part. The pins drop in, they lock in front, they lock in the rear. There's 4 points of connection. You've got your screws that go to the pistol, just like you would with a plate in the way. Now the dot is going to the top of the slide, the screws are coming in, you got your 4 lugs. You have a very secure surface area for the red dot sight. So now that we hit 1,000 rounds on this one, I'm going to swap the armor out to a different gun, and the next up, we're going to have this thing suppressed. Right? We have a thread barrel coming, we have some 20-round mags coming, so we'll get another batch of ammo on this, and we'll run this in a lot of different calibers, a couple different pistol suppressors, suppressed that give you guys some different options on what this will do in a suppressed category. If this thing runs as well as it does in suppressed configuration, this would be a super badass home defense gun. It is narrow enough in the grip, the trigger is clean enough, the manipulation is solid. Anybody, male, female, big hands, small hands, whatever, this could really be a very, very well built home defense pistol. I'm excited for this gun. This is the first pistol that Springfield has brought that is very different from everything else. It is a modular handgun, as you guys all know. I didn't really touch on that, but it's pretty much common sense that this is a module pistol, a serialized trigger pack. Therefore, new slide lengths, new frame styles, new aftermarket accessories, triggers, frames, slides, all that stuff are going to start dropping very soon. And I wouldn't be surprised by SHOT Show that we see a whole nother market of products that are aftermarket and OEM products from Springfield and all the different companies out there making products for the Echelon. You guys, that's the full review at 1,000 rounds on the Echelon. This has been a phenomenal pistol. Thank you to Springfield for supporting the channel as always. We are very proud to be a part of the nationwide launch. All I can say is this, guys. If you have not had a chance to shoot one at your local range, try one out, whatever case may be, definitely take a look at it, shoot it, try it before you mess with it or have anything negative to say about it. I think this pistol will really surprise you. As always, guys, we post 2-3 videos every week on Gear to Manufacture, Gear Review. Until next time, be well, take care.